She's been part of the Crossroads family of ministries for over 10 years, a regular producer-reporter on 100 Huntley Street for close to 8 years, and a Full Circle sofa sister for over 5 years. And now, it's all coming to an end, all because of a man named John. Denise, what is going on in your life?
I know, what is he doing?
Exactly. Tell us about John.
Yeah, well, John is my fiance, and I met him over a year ago on this adventure called internet dating, and he has just become my best friend, just the person I'm going to join my life with and start a whole new adventure with. So he's just a wonderful gift from God.
And we have a couple pictures of this handsome,
handsome
man who we're mad at.
Okay, yes. There's a brief story behind this picture. Why are you at a gas station?
Well, we have a long distance relationship, so gas stations played a prominent role in our relationship, going to visit each other from Montreal to the Toronto area. So it was an appropriate gas station, a place where we stopped in Kingston on the halfway mark all the time when we would come and see each other. And that's where he popped the questions. So for me, it was a very romantic moment. When I tell other people, it's not really...
So you're holding up your engagement ring because you just
with gas
got engaged.
Yeah, I got a trucker to take that picture of us right after the big event, you know.
That is sweet.
And that's an engagement picture a friend of mine took. So it's just, I mean, I can't even believe I'm talking to you about this because it's just been such a wild ride. And
what does John do?
John is a teacher, and he actually specializes in outdoor education. So he's quite a wilderness kind of guy, really adventurous, does kayaking, windsurfing, any sport really.
All of this to prepare him for the challenge of
the adventure ahead.
Well, he always tells me, "I love you, but you're not easy."
At least he's honest.
Yeah, that's true. You know, you got to have a challenge in life.
Women aren't easy for men, though. But men are so much less complicated than we are. So it's just true. Women are just more work. We're more work.
No.
But you know, having you on the couch has been an adventure for all of us. And we've had some really, really funny moments with you. And we want to show our audience, just remind our audience who've been with us this whole time of some of them. Let's take a look.
All right.
Denise on the couch.
Say hello to 3 leading ladies, Cheryl, Denise, and Moira. Welcome, girls.
I'm ready for my close-up.
The leading lady syndrome. Denise, you're a little more inspiring this morning than usual.
I think we know what this is.
We were trying to have some fun here, Moira. Yeah. I have given you a hard time over the years about your Christmas ensembles that you always bring to the show. The color, the Christmas brooches, the sweaters. And so I thought we could do a little role reversal today.
Yeah.
And I would wear the tacky Christmas outfit.
Oh, that's a little mean.
I have this role.
Oh no, Moira! You know what?
Fortunately, I hurt some people out there in our viewing audience, and they thought that I might have actually been humiliating Moira, which is so far from the truth. And I really wanted to just apologize to those viewers that I offended.
It's
a one-size-fits-all.
Is it? You really want to?
Okay.
You know, I would never do this for anybody else.
I don't know if this.
Are you serious? And it's hurting my nose a little bit.
You don't even have to do anything fancy. But you're stuck in traffic, you just slip it on. No reaction. You're just sitting there like this. And you just go like this.
Look this way.
And then a peace sign.
Peace.
Money buys latte, and that makes me happy.
And shoes.
I think these are great boots. These are dangerous boots.
And I could be a princess.
You are a princess.
Very superficial level, that is a benefit of doing these films. I mean, if you did enough of these, I would be so ripped by the end of this.
I know.
My arm muscles.
That's why Denise is holding it the whole show now.
Like
to be like,
you know what? I'm
working. I will make a good dinner. I'm working. Please, 1 second from me.
No, just kidding.
We love you, Denise.
Yes. Hey, I'm always willing to apologize when
I can't believe, but I set you up on that one, and I am sorry.
Well, we have so much fun, and that's the thing is, you know, we really are friends, and when girls get together, there's usually some mischief, right?
Yeah.
Well, we've been doing Full Circle for over 5 years now, and our theme has always been sharing authentically. And so, you know, sometimes when you do that, you can get into a little hot water, but, you know, we're real, and we give grace to each other, right?
Denise, what was your favorite? I mean, those are funny, but is there one show, Full Circle, that really stands out, that made an impression, that was the one that inspired you or made you laugh?
Yeah, you know, well, there's been so many shows, and that's the beauty of this show, is that you take little nuggets. And it's funny because we're, you know, as reporters, we weren't on every week. But it would be interesting because I'd be on shows sometimes, and it would be directly ministering to an area of my life that I may not, you know, have even shared. It just would happen that way, that I would be on the couch that day and a guest would just kind of speak right into my life. And so I think we've had some guests of incredible depth on the show. So it's just been a variety of people who've just really impacted me over the years. And then you guys, like just sharing with you and hearing your stories and living life with you guys and just the journeys we all go through, the pain and the ups, the downs, that's impacted me probably more than any guest.
And Denise, you know, I've watched you, I've known you since you first came here, and
Bring out the Kleenex.
I pack some.
Give some to Cheryl.
well, when I think of you coming here, and you were always like, I can't be in ministry, you know, who am I? Like, I'm not worthy, I haven't lived the perfect life, and you thought you were disqualified, and I see you now, you know, like you just minister so powerfully on the couch. What has God done in you over these last 11 years that has brought you to that place?
Well, I think maybe he's shown me that he's not expecting perfection, you know, and I think, you know, that's like, I honestly, being in ministry is not something I ever thought I would do. And it just shows who God is. He's so different than we think he is sometimes. And then that he would actually use the broken areas of my life. And this show, more than anything, like more than when I'm doing reports, gives me an opportunity to share some of that gold that's come out of those times of my life. And so for me, it's just been such a privilege to be able to actually minister out of the things that God has done in my own heart and in my own life.
Yeah, and I know that, Denise, you have really shared a lot of depth and wisdom on the couch here over the years, and we've put together another clip of how God has just given you a lot of insight. So let's take a look at some of the moments we've shared with Denise over the last 5 years.
I never would have pursued ministry because of those experiences I had growing up. I never thought I could ever be in ministry because I just didn't fit the role. I didn't fit these molds that I grew up in. And God is just awesome because he can work around those things, and he's done that throughout history. When people ask me, like oftentimes, what has been your favorite stories? And from the very beginning, Benjamin Osei has been right up there. Not just the story of when he was deported. I mean, I got a chance to be part of that whole incredible, miraculous journey that God has taken this man on. But he really, truly is my hero, because not only has he filled this incredible need, but he's staying faithful to that call. If you have a calling in your life, you got to go for it. And you can't let yourself be restricted by maybe the baggage of the past or how what others have said. You really have to go to God on it. I think that, you know, there are certain luxury items you can have, like little things that bring you joy. Like for me, it's shoes, you know, but I live a very modest lifestyle, but, you know, I might splurge on a pair of shoes. But I think it's finding value in people. I think it's relationships. You never hear someone say that they wish they had made more money on their deathbed.
Right.
It's always like, who are the people in your life? Who do you care about? And what are your relationships like?
Denise, right on.
I've always tried to be an authentic person in my life, and that can be a good or bad thing, but I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I don't want to just fall into a formula and become a religious person and say, okay, well, I pray this many hours a day or whatever. So I said to God, what do you like? What pleases you, you know? And I remember he said that he really liked it when I wrote to him, because writing is one of my gifts. And so that's kind of a way I can use that gift to worship him. But you get to taste the divine when you go to Africa. And you get to see the hope, and you get to see faith in such a way that you do not see here. That you are still carrying what you saw there.
and it has blessed you, and it has propelled you into realms you didn't even know of. And this is what we all can partake of. We can join in these things, and we can reach out into our world and go to those orphans and be part of what God is doing. I mean, his heart is so real when you get there. And I felt like I would thank God every night when I was there. I would be like, God, thank you so much for letting me come here, because he is there. And I'm so glad. And I want to encourage anybody who's watching, like, if God is tugging your heart to go, to do something, to help, do it, because you are going to see things that you've never seen before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Denise.
Okay.
You know what? That's part of what I love about Full Circle, is just that we share honestly and openly from our hearts, Bridget.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Denise, one of the things, oh dear, one of the things that you really helped me to see is that, you know, like, singleness is not a bad thing. You're a fierce, God-loving single lady with style.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you said last year that really ministered to me was that, you know, even though you've prayed about getting married, John is not your answer. And that really, that really touched me, because it just showed that your walk with God really is deep. It's not just about getting things from him. It's about actually the journey. And so can you just, you know, minister about that?
Yeah, that's the thing I've learned, is that, you know, it is really he just wants your heart, you know. And that's something you could always give God. It doesn't require having a man in your life or kids in your life. There's just that place where he can be and you can be, and it's taking the courage to go to that place and answering those calls that, you know, because there's so much he wants to do in every life. And I see that in you, Bridget. You just encourage me too. Like, at 25, you know so much more than I did.
Amen.
And so it's just using your life, just letting him in.
And I know that you really mean that, because we've shared together, we've ministered together at conferences, Full Circle conferences over the years, and you've had lots of women come up to you and say, you know, Denise, you have been a role model for me as I've walked this single journey, this journey of singleness, and how to not have that as my goal, but to have that relationship with God as my goal. And you've walked that out for so many.
Well, and it really tests the very heart of you and the identity of you, because we attach so much value in who we are as a person, if we have a husband, or if we have the family, if we have all of these things that society says we should have. But that's so different than how God sees us. You know, at the end of the day, the biggest lesson I've learned is that I'm a daughter. And that's going to be my lifelong role, regardless of what happens, whether I become a mother, whether I'm going to become a wife. I'm always going to be a daughter, and that's the most important relationship.
And maybe Jesus put it best when he said in the Bible, you know, seek first, go first after God's heart, and then he'll add everything else to you and your life.